So the biggest struggle that I have had as a child-free woman by choice is all the naysayers, where the most difficult thing was to actually defend myself all the time, always feeling like something is wrong with me, that I don't fit into this societal norm that we have in this society today. I felt attacked and shamed and guilty for not wanting to have children by the closest people around me. No one actually took me serious at all. It was always like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about, just you wait until your biological clock kicks in. That was the response that I got all the time. Or no, even worse, this one, your partner will leave you because you don't want to have children. Yeah. Have you experienced similar things? Then maybe this video can help you out. So let's just jump right into the 10 ways that you can actually respond to naysayers regarding misconceptions and mistreatment. The first part is to understand the naysayer's perspective in the whole situation. Begin by understanding that the naysayer's perceptions of being child-free is formed by societal norms, their personal experience and their own values. And some may simply just don't understand or don't want to understand the perspective of us that chooses to be child-free. When you actually talk to the naysayers and you try to understand their perspective, try to talk with empathy for that person. Try to approach the whole situation with empathy for yourself as well, even if the comments are hurtful. I know, it sucks, but I mean, we are trying to be the better person here, if I'm allowed to say that, but yeah, you know what I mean. We're trying to portray ourselves with standards, with grace and compassion. And I know that it's easier said than done, because it will most likely trigger some kind of emotional response in you. I know that it did for me at least. Maybe it will help you out if you actually consider that the naysayers come from a place of not knowing anything better, or that they actually come from a place of concern for you. The second part is to stay confident and calm. This is a crucial part when you're responding to a naysayer. You need to be calm and confident in your demeanor. Remember that your choice in being child-free is totally valid and no one has anything to say about it. And you have every right to that decision, no matter what anyone else say. And by you staying calm, you will reduce the fuel to the naysayer. Try to remain composed and calm and relaxed in your body language when you're responding to a naysayer regarding your choice in being child-free. If you show the confidence in your body language and how you talk, it might actually deter the naysayer to continue pursuing to push their opinion on you. The third step is to educate and inform. Provide factual information in a polite and confident way when you address misconceptions. Because many misconceptions stem from not knowing anything about a child-free lifestyle. Focus on sharing your choices for being a child-free individual and truly emphasize on the well-thought-out choice that you have made for yourself. By explaining your perspective in this, it can actually help them understand your point of view in this whole matter. I had this interesting conversation with a man that I met regarding having children or not. And he was actually shocked when he learned that I didn't want to have children. For him it was like, oh, what? That's not even a reality, that's not even a possibility in his world. He also had the guts to tell me like, that will change when you meet the right person, then you will want to have children. What? No! And when I stated my opinions, why I chose a child-free life, he was shocked. And then he started to think and started to question himself for wanting children. He was like, maybe, do I want children because of societal norms? I haven't even thought about the whole, that it's a possibility to not have children and have that kind of free life. Oh my gosh, now I need to think about my decisions. So he started to question himself just by me explaining my point of view. And I didn't intend to try to convince him to join our side. I just wanted him to understand that it's okay to have children and it's okay to not want to have children. And that made him realize that, oh my, there are actually multiple choices here, and that's okay. The next thing that I want to bring up is respectful communication. When you have this discussion with a naysayer, don't try to argue with them. Stick to the statements where you actually talk from yourself, like I statements. Use I statements when you express your feelings, your choices, your values. For example, I have chosen to be child-free so that I can pursue my dreams. Or I have chosen to be child-free so that I don't have to have that responsibility. Or whatever your reason is. But stick to the I statements. And when you have these conversations, avoid confrontational languages and tone in your voice. because that will only make the other person defensive and you will not bring anything across. So try to stay calm and respectful towards the other person as well, because that will lower their defenses. So instead of accusing them when they question you, try to instead approach them like, I understand your concern, but thank you for your concern, but. I had this conversation with my mother regarding when I was pregnant, and I decided like, no, I truly don't want this. So I went through an abortion and she was like, he's gonna leave you, how can you do that? You're gonna be so alone and you're gonna die alone and no one will want you, blah, 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 blah. And that came from a place of concern from her side. I know that. Of course, she didn't want to hurt me. So my response was, thank you, I understand your concern and I appreciate it. But do you really want me to have children for someone else? Shouldn't the whole reason for having kids be because I want to have it, because it fulfills me, not for someone else? And when I put it forward like that, she took everything back. She was like, oh, of course. Of course I don't want you to have kids for someone else. Of course I don't want you to do something that you don't want for someone else. I'm just worried that you will be alone. So we had this amazing conversation and she finally understood me. After all these years when she has said, just you wait until you get older, you're gonna change your mind and you're so good with kids and you're gonna have children. Just you wait. She never listened to when I told her that I don't want children. And now when I went through the abortion, she finally understood that I was serious about my choice. That also led to her supporting me in my choice instead. The next thing is to set boundaries. If the conversations turn out to be disrespectful or hurtful, you have all the right to disengage the conversation and just end it. You have all the right to remove yourself from that situation. Just politely state that you don't want to have this conversation anymore and just change topic or go away. Just politely state that you don't want to continue this conversation if it becomes too heated or hurtful. Also, an important note here is that remember that you do not have to explain your choice in being child-free. You don't owe anyone that explanation. It is your choice and you have all right to do that choice. So you don't have to explain yourself. Some conversations are just not worth having if it disrupts your inner peace. You can also share positive aspects of your choice as being child-free. Tell them how it has enriched your life, that you can pursue your passions, that you can do whatever fulfills you and you're happy about it. Mention how it has improved your relationship with people or how you were able to pursue your dream career, for example. Focus on the positives. You could also redirect the conversation. If you feel like the conversation turns out to be mean or hurtful again, but you don't want to remove yourself from that situation, it's totally fine to go back to more neutral grounds in the conversation. You can just focus on something else. By gracefully shift the conversation into neutral grounds, you can maintain the peace without upsetting anyone. It could diffuse the tension if you feel like that's the better choice for you. Another important aspect is to surround yourself with supportive people. This is a huge tip that helped me out. Like, surround yourself with a community, your friends or family or whoever actually supports your choice. Someone who respects your choice and motivates you to stick to that choice. By having this support system, it can help you navigate through these difficult conversations because they are hurtful and it is awkward and uncomfortable. I wish I didn't even have to have those conversations with people. But sadly we do, because that's the society we live in today. So by having this support system, you can actually stand your ground and be comfortable in doing that. Another thing is to focus on your personal happiness. Emphasize that your choice in being child-free helps you pursue your inner voice, your inner dreams, your inner passions, and your inner purpose. That the life that you're pursuing aligns with your values and brings you happiness. And people who genuinely care about you, they will try to understand. Because of course they want you to be happy. They don't want you to be sad. They don't want you to conform to other people. They want you to live your life to the fullest. So people who genuinely care about you, if you put forward how this choice aligns with your values and your happiness, they will be happy for you. And the last thing, just agree to disagree. I mean, in some cases, you can't convince anyone. If you feel like you're just hitting a wall and you can't reach them or they don't respect what you're explaining to them, then it's okay to just realize like, okay, let's agree to disagree and just shut down that conversation. Some people will, no matter how well you put forward all the positive aspects of your choice, they will just simply not want to understand, or they just can't understand. And we can't judge them for them. I mean, they're allowed to have their opinions just as we are allowed to have ours, right? So in those cases, just agree to disagree and move on from that conversation. Remember, by responding to naysayers, you stand up for your own autonomy. You stand up for your own life choices. You stand up for your own values. It's about you standing up for you in a graceful and confident and secure way. It is an opportunity to educate people that don't know any better, and to also promote understanding even though their opinions are different from yours. So please, please remember, your choice in being child-free is totally valid. Do not let anyone else tell you anything different, because that put me in a difficult spot. But now I know my true voice, I know what I truly align with. You have all the right to stand up for yourself and your values and your choices. Don't ever let anyone else tell you otherwise.